It's the start of a new era, Fraser. It's the start of a brand new era. Just you and me, Fraser. You and me, Vincent Fraser, forever. Yeah. I know you, Fraser. I know that's what you really wanted, Fraser. You and me forever. Vincent Kenny McMahon and his number one sweetie boo, Michael Fraser. I took Linda McMahon to court and got a divorce. And after she took half of my life, I decided to go and step up. So, have you left Jesse yet?
No, and I never will.
Hunter! What is it, Vince? You told me if I said to Fraser that I left Linda, he would leave Jesse. No, I said it definitely wouldn't work. You didn't listen, Vince. You never listen. Just like the Royal Rumble, you never listened. What do you mean? What are you talking about? The Royal Rumble was great. Besides, it's the start of a brand new era in terms of Bodyslams and Dropkicks predictions, where I, Vincent Kenny McMahon, agree that my sweetie boo, Michael Fraser, is ahead. And not only ahead, he is ripping it. Vince, what? You might want to check the scores. Okay? Oh my God. Oh my God, no. Dean? Dean's winning? No. What have I done? I didn't. I couldn't. No. No!
Hello and welcome everyone to Bodyslams and Dropkicks. I, of course, am your host with the most for the day. My name is Nathan, and with me, of course, is Vince McMahon's number one sweetie boo, his best friend in the entire world, and what we all know to be the person who is so in love with Vincent Kennedy McMahon that he cannot think of anything else, Michael Fraser. We got a jam-packed show for you today. Unfortunately, Dean isn't here. He is what did he say he was doing? Crumbling his biscuits?
Crumbling his biscuits, something about busting out the Ouija board to bring out his producer. It stopped making sense after a while.
Something about wanting Judi Dench's mind in the producer's body. It's weird.
Yeah, something about a Kate Bosworth marathon.
Now, that I believe. But while he's busy watching the Kate Bosworth marathon, which he loves so much, I'm sure he's got his crumpets, and shout out to Dean for letting us do this. Let's get right into things, Fraser, with the Royal Rumble predictions of 2022. These are the unofficial start and the unofficial end of our year because whoever wins the Royal Rumble is absolutely in a huge shot to win the whole shebang for predictions. So we're going to start off with the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. Fraser and I picked Becky Lynch. Dean, however, picked, I can't believe, are you reading this too? Julie Andrews. He picked the famed Broadway musical singer Julie Andrews, but then crossed it off and said Becky Lynch. Quite frankly, I don't understand why he would pick that phrase, but, he did strike it off. He did put in Becky Lynch, so we all get 2 points for that. The WWE Championship match is next up. Okay, and it is Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Fraser and I both picked Brock. Dean, however, picked, I can't believe I'm saying this, Nick Aldis? he picked Nick Aldis?
Yeah, because Nick...
I mean, I know that Mickie James was part of the Royal Rumble, but did you hear anything about Nick Aldis?
No, I didn't hear anything. He must have been watching too much NWA again.
That could be. Anyway, none of us got points for that. We've got the Universal Championship match where the Usos were barred from ringside. we had Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Fraser and I both picked Roman Reigns, and Dean picked William Regal. My God, why did Vince fire him? The twat nugget. And then he stroked it out and put in Seth Rollins. But I'm seeing a very, very weird pattern here. Next up, we've got Edge and Beth Phoenix versus the Miz and Maurice. Fraser and I both chose Edge and Beth Phoenix. Dean, however, chose... I can't believe I'm actually saying this, and I hope to God it's wrong. Duke the Dumpster Drossy, and Savio Vega. He did strike it out and put in Edge and Beth Phoenix, but still, Duke Drossy and Savio Vega. I don't know what the heck Dean was on. I know he's on vacation, but seriously, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But now we're on to the point where I think all of us were off on a bad hair day or something. So we do the Royal Rumble matches, and the Royal Rumble matches are where literally the entire prospect of our prediction scores can change. So, the way that we do things are 20 points for the winner of the Royal Rumble and 5 points each for second, third, and fourth. If you come in the final four and you're our predictions, congratulations. It can be for a total of 35 points total. It can change the entire concept of how we do things because it is absolutely crazy. So my picks were Big E, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre. Michael Fraser's picks were Big E, Kevin Owens, Austin Theory, and Rey Mysterio. And Dean's picks were Austin Theory, and I can't believe I'm saying the rest of these because Austin Theory actually makes sense. Austin Theory, Ahmed Johnson, Mark Henry, and Mae Young's hand. I don't know why he picked any of those. Do you?
Nope.
Anyway, the final four were Riddle, Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. I was the only one who scored any points, and I scored them thanks to Drew McIntyre. And I am completely shocked. Congratulations, WWE. You shocked us. I don't know if it's a good shock or a bad shock. But congratulations. That was completely unpredictable booking. We got a grand total of 5 points. They all went to me. And in the 30 women Royal Rumble match, Dean had Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, Asuka, and Ronda Rousey. I had Sasha Banks, Bayley, Shotzi Blackheart, and Bianca Belair. Fraser had Liv Morgan, Lita, Naomi, and Charlotte Flair. Now, of course, what I should mention to all of you folks is that Dean also had, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so pretty, can't you understand? You had me by the heart when I looked at your husband. Oh, Mickey, you're so pretty, can't you understand? It's girls like you, Mickey, that keep Nikki away from me. He stroked it out to put in his prediction, so obviously we have to count it, but still, I think that's worth mentioning, bud. So the final result of the Royal Rumble were Dean with an impressive 31 points, thanks primarily to Ronda Rousey. I got a paltry 14 points, and you, Fraser, got 9. So after the Royal Rumble, Dean has a total of 47 points, leading the pack in the WWE. I have 28 points, and Fraser is looking for a second punishment with 15.
Wow.
This isn't looking good. Ain't looking good for you, bro. Ain't looking good for you.
Don't worry, Fraser. I'm going to give you all my booking decisions in advance from now on. Just go with what I tell you. I'm sure it's going to work.
It's fine. There's still like Elimination Chamber and a couple others.
Like, there is still time. The year is still young, but that is a huge deficit for either of us to overcome.
You.
And I don't know. Congratulations, Dean, for picking Ronda, I guess.
You gotta defend your crown, Nathan.
I know. I've got two lovely crowns, and I want them both. And if all of you want them both as much as I do, tag us with the hashtag Make Dean's First Predictions Count. Because I happen to know that if all of Dean's first predictions counted, he would be in a heck of a lot of a worse place. Okay? Because the only thing he had down for the Women's Royal Rumble, which is where he got us big time, was, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey, that turned into a gradual love letter for Nick Aldis. And quite frankly, I think that should count over all of his predictions. I don't. Dean is a genius. He's a visionary.
I want whatever's best for Fraser. And if you want whatever's best for Fraser, look at us. Feel us. Out on Bodyslams and Dropkicks Twitter.
Well, that's the end of the predictions. Do you have any news for us, my friend?
Yes, I do. I'll kick it off with the one you'll probably want to hear the most about, a certain wrestler. A certain rustlers.
Okay. This is a good start.
Give me a moment. News regarding Triple H's status of the NXT brand, Shawn Michaels' role. According to Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com, there are no plans for Triple H to have any creative involvement with WWE NXT 2.0 for the time being due to his health issues. While things could change, W is said to be very happy with how Shawn Michaels is running the brand. Meltzer wrote the following regarding Michaels. It was noted that was not his job when he was hired, but it fell upon him when Triple H had his health issue, and they feel he has great aptitude for the creative process and understanding of how to make stars and make key people stand out. It's being said that Michaels is basically the person in charge of running the NXT brand, but Vince McMahon is still able to make the final decisions. Meltzer added that Vince is more hands-on in the sense he does look at the run sheets and scripts, but he doesn't make the widespread late changes like he does with Raw and SmackDown. Michaels reportedly takes direction when it comes to which stars the company wants to push.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want NXT 2.0 to actually succeed under Shawn, first of all, Shawn is a creative genius. He can be at times, but if you want the NXT 2.0 brand to really shine and really succeed, you have to let Shawn Michaels have the ability to build stars and not just take a bunch of NXT people away in terms of talent releases. I'm sorry. That in itself, bud, I don't know about you, but that in itself is what really turns me off from NXT 2.0 is you're either trying to build stars of tomorrow, which is a good idea, and Shawn Michaels is the great guy to do that, or you're taking away the tools and the talent that those stars need to succeed, either in the stars themselves or William Regal. And I really don't understand why. It's good that Shawn is viewed as the person in charge of NXT, and I do wish the best for Triple H, all things considered. We tease him a lot here. But the man basically gave his heart for us. And wish him nothing but the best in his future recovery, whatever he wants to do. Shawn, great stuff.
honestly, the past NXT roster, if they combined it with some of the guys they have now, they'd have such a solid roster. But and honestly, we've seen what the other guys can do now that Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and all of them have gone over to AEW. It pretty much shows you like what NXT is now lacking without some of their stars. But Sean's making the best of what he's got. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he is doing fantastic. It's Shawn Michaels. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, next up. Go ahead.
Jeff Hardy, sorry.
No, go ahead, dude.
Jeff Hardy reportedly turns down offer to make WWE return. As previously noted, Jeff Hardy released from his WWE contract following an incident at a live event. According to Dave Meltzer, F4WOnline.com, John Laurinaitis recently called Jeff Hardy in regards to coming back. An offer was also reportedly made for Hardy to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hardy was said he had declined the offer, and Meltzer noted the following. Hardy turned it down and asked for his drug test results because he knew he wasn't going to test positive for recreational drugs. Took Hardy and his wife 6 weeks to get the results back. Hardy remains until contract with WWE until March 9th, and AEW can't make a legal offer to him until that time. Meltzer added that there is a feeling right now that this is one guy they don't want in AEW due to the various tag matches that Matt and Jeff can have in the company.
You're a bigger fan of Jeff Hardy than I am. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think a bunch of people owe him a huge apology because I saw all the comments they were making about him being on drugs, all the doubting when it came to him, even though people said that Jeff seemed perfectly fine before the match. I would love for him to go to AEW because I've been hearing now that he's been outside the WWE, his passion for wrestling has been completely revitalized.
Well, what I find interesting about this, first of all, I do want to apologize to Jeff Hardy because I thought the worst. And if the report coming out from Meltzer is correct, I stand by what I said. I don't believe anything until it comes out of sources close to Jeff Hardy. With regards to his drug use specifically. If everything Meltzer's saying is true, I do apologize to Jeff Hardy for saying what I said on this podcast a while ago. And if this is WWE and WWE is doing what they're doing, which is being petty, then this is not a good look for the WWE. Jeff is not just a tag team guy. He's a recognizable name. And while he is not as good as he once was, time has taken a lot off of him. He works very hard and he's still very, very credible. And yeah, he could do a lot more in a place like AEW or Impact where he's got supports around him. That's all I got to say on this.
And there's nothing but dream matches. They got FTR, they got the Acclaim, they have Phoenix, and Pentagon. They got the Young Bucks. Like, there's going to be countless dream matches and tag matches and single matches for these guys.
Well, like, I just want to go back and bring up one match, and it's one match that, if you were a WWE fan in the late 2000s, you know which match I'm going to go to. Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk. Punk drove Jeff Hardy from the company in story, and think about it now, 10, 11 years later, Jeff, free of his demons, going to face CM Punk. I don't care what angle you put on that, that's going to sell tickets.
Oh, people are going to go nuts for that, especially because like Jeff and Punk now are in really good places. They're going to pull out amazing work.
Yeah, if that's what happens. But in all honesty, shame on the WWE for their treatment of Jeff Hardy's drug tests.
And Then we have some more Jeff Hardy news. Jeff Hardy's passion for wrestling is said to have been renewed. During an appearance on the Wrestling Perspective podcast, Matt Hardy commented on being able to reunite with his brother Jeff now that Jeff is no longer working for WWE. When it comes to myself and Jeff teaming up being the Hardy Boys, it's like riding a bike. You just get back on and start pedaling. It's business as usual. That's one thing that is really cool. I've literally been there since this guy was born. We know each other inside and out. It's going to be fun. Jeff's excitement and passion for wrestling has been so renewed now that he has this new horizon in front of him. Very excited about that. Without going too much in detail, I'm very excited to where 2022 is going to take the Hardy Boys. I feel it's going to be a great year for Matt and Jeff. Quote courtesy of Fightful.com.
Well, here's the thing. If Jeff is saying that he's ready and willing and able to wrestle, and he's got a passion for it, and Matt Hardy is the one saying this, I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree with Jeff, and you can see we've already talked about it. You've mentioned the tag team dream matches. I'm thinking the singles stars, like Jeff Punk, Jeff Jericho, Jeff MJF. What the heck? Jeff Orange Cassidy. And maybe Jeff could actually teach Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes how to sell in a ladder match. Because I remember he was actually really good at that.
Yeah.
I'll get into that later, but...
Big Swole fires back at fan for making comment about her daughter. Twitter user posted a photo of Ronda Rousey from the end of the 2022 Women's WWE Royal Rumble match and included the following caption: "Her Big Swole's daughter is back watch WWE because somebody that looks like her won the Rumble." Swole issued a response tweet: "F you. Honestly, taking something like this and putting my daughter in it in this context is clown behavior. You can say whatever about me, but folks, kids are off limits. What the F is wrong with you?" The fan ended up deleting the tweet.
Oh God. So it was just the pick of Ronda Rousey victorious in the 2022 Royal Rumble, right?
Yep.
That's all it was?
That's all it was.
Bit of column A, bit of column B, because Big Swole's absolutely right. You should not bring people's kids into things. Swole, don't overreact, but definitely should not bring people's kids into things ever, because people's kids, they didn't do anything to you. They don't deserve this in an era of unprecedented online access and ridicule. Don't deserve this.
Exactly. Like, why are you going to target somebody's kid? Like, I could understand them taking like some of the quote if you're going to mess with the wrestler, but like, don't put their kid's name in it. Like, you don't know their kid. Their kid has nothing to do with this. Their kid's never wronged you or anything. So like, what's the point of doing that? I get you just want to like set somebody off, but like kids are off limits when it comes down to it.
Yeah. If you're going to use kids, use them in a positive light. If you're using kids in kayfabe or in story and wrestling, use kids as a way to say that your kids would be ashamed of you. Use kids in a way to say that your kids deserve better, or that your kids must be so proud of you, or something like that. But anything that paints the kid themselves in a negative light should be off limits.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Update on Finn Balor following his absence from the Royal Rumble. Finn Balor is one of the active WWE stars that did not compete in the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble match. Twitter account WrestleVotes noted the following in regards to Balor's absence. Confirm with source that Finn Balor is not injured in any way. He is out of the country. However, WWE expects him back and plenty of time for Mania. Balor last competed on the January 17th edition of WWE Raw in a losing effort to Austin Theory. Balor recently expressed desire to have a heel turn on the main roster.
Finn Balor. His name is Balor. Finn Balor.
And they asked about Cesaro and legitly got the I don't know emoji back.
Good. Congratulations. No, Finn, I'm glad he's taking time off. Glad he's taking time off for himself. I would love to see the Demon at WrestleMania. And without Undertaker, and without The Fiend, and without Alexa Bliss in the Fiend attire, you absolutely need Demon Finn. whether it's face or heel.
They need something big for Mania. Like even honestly, I feel like Elimination Chamber, and I hate to say this, it's just gonna feel like a filler pay-per-view. I don't think anything significantly is gonna happen until at least WrestleMania.
Well, the thing about Elimination Chamber, as soon as it got its own pay-per-view right before WrestleMania, that's been its main complaint. I would like to see I would like to see the pay-per-views move around a little bit, especially some of my favorite ones. Money in the Bank, for example, perfect where it is. But can you imagine if you had Elimination Chamber around June? Around June or around October, if you're going to give its own pay-per-view. But personally, I would like the Elimination Chamber to be back around SummerSlam or Survivor Series time.
Honestly, I kind of would like to see them take a big gamble and use it for a WrestleMania main event. If they got every star like that people want to see in that match and had like great stories for all of them, it could be like the best main event ever.
Oh, like a 6-pack. Have they ever done a 6-pack main event? I remember the Fatal 4-Way McMahon in every corner, which sucked.
I don't think there's been a 6-man main event. The most I've ever seen really was 6-man main events were like on the independent scene during like the BSC days when they would have their world title always defended in 6-man matches.
Yeah. I'm looking I'm trying to find out. No, I can't see a 6-man main event at WrestleMania.
Because they got the right guys to carry it too if they did it.
You've got the right match workers, absolutely you do. But do you have that potential to pull something like that off? Are you going to take that risk? Are you going to take that risk? I'm not sure. Because I know who I would want in that, and I really want Dean to be here for this. I know who I would want in a Elimination Chamber main event at WrestleMania. But I would think with WrestleMania being what it is, and it being a 2-night affair, I don't think you would ever do it. Like that's a problem. That's the problem. WrestleMania is a spot where you can take some of the biggest risks, and especially in an era of Roman Reigns holding onto the championship with an iron fist. Which, by the way, we should mention Seth frickin' Rollins beat Roman frickin' Reigns by disqualification. So Roman hangs onto his belt because, of course, he does. But if you can imagine Roman Reigns holding the belt for 500 days. Now all of a sudden there's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 credible threats to Roman Reigns. And you build that Elimination Chamber match to its height, its base of having 2 faces in the middle. They have a 20-minute match on top of the Chamber match. It would be absolutely electric. But that's just me.
Writing wise, I feel like the only person who would be able to pull it off would be the Triple H and his group. Get Shawn Michaels to really like shine the faces up. Like, remember when Shawn went in there to win the world title?
Oh yeah, it was. But that was also one of the best booked chambers. O2s. Because A, you had the novelty of the chamber, but B, you have asshole heel Triple H. You have asshole heel Triple H, asshole heel Chris Jericho, and then 4 of your most likable faces in WWE at that time. One of them is known for doing flippy dippy shit in the chamber. One of them is just one of the most compelling stories. One of them is a giant freak show who you can instantly buy winning the chamber. And the final one is Shawn frickin' Michaels. And that match was booked absolutely perfectly. Like, the only thing I would change is Shawn Michaels' mud brown tights. Those things were awful.
Yeah, those are still talked
But-
about to this day.
But no, and you got like the match itself was so perfectly paced, so perfectly built that when Shawn Michaels came out at number 6, like the whole crowd is just like crazy. They're going nuts. And Shawn Michaels is just standing there doing a jig in his pod, waiting for him to come out. It's crazy. Anyway, go on, Frizz. I'm done. If you got anything else to say.
Oh, no, you did good on that. So Kofi Kingston addresses his botched near elimination spot at the 2022 Royal Rumble. As seen during the 2022 Men's WWE Royal Rumble match, Kofi traditionally near elimination spot was botched as both feet ended up hitting the floor when he crashed onto the ringside barricade. After a replay was shown, Kofi was officially eliminated from the match. Brian Alvarez of F4WOnline.com, who's also been tweeting quite a bit about the mishaps and stuff that he didn't understand during Royal Rumble, noted that Kingston's spot was mistimed and he was legitimately eliminated when he wasn't supposed to be. Alvarez added that there were spots with Big E that had been planned for later in the match. Kofi addressed the botch. Well, it is better to try and fail than never try at all. And then people were tweeting at him like, true Kofi just said, like you always told him, eat your bootios and always stay positive. He's like, I'll take my own advice then.
Well, see, here's the thing, and it's the thing about Kofi, and it's the thing about the New Day. Good God Almighty. Kofi Kingston, in the amount of Royal Rumble escapes that he's done, or the Royal Rumble near eliminations that he's done in his career, I personally am shocked that a botch didn't happen sooner. And the fans respect Kofi, and Kofi respects them. That's why Kofi, in relation to, we talked about Big Swole earlier, gets so much more positivity and love from the fans and from people than, somebody who will react negatively to them.
Honestly, I think it's a waste that they got rid of Morrison because I would have loved to see Kofi and him going at it and then getting launched off and then doing like an amazing way back into the ring since Morrison used to do it all the time and then Kofi started doing it.
Kofi revolutionized it. Like, I still remember. Do you remember the time he jumped from the announcer's table back into the ring?
I remember that. I remember when he was using the chair to hop his way back in.
Hey, John, give me your chair. What? Give me your chair, John. I gotta see this. And he uses the pogo stick. Oh, God.
Ronda Rousey issued a statement on her return to WWE after winning the Women's Royal Rumble match. Ronda Rousey issued the following statement on Instagram in regards to her comeback. I just had a baby 4 months ago. Since the day I found out I was pregnant, calculated my due date. I knew I wanted to return to WWE at Royal Rumble. 2 weeks, even 2 months postpartum, that goal seemed crazier than ever before, but I just missed it so much, and I so badly wanted to give Poe the same example that my mom gave to me and my sister. She never broke stride following her dreams while having us. Now it's my turn.
I really don't know what to say about that. Congratulations to Rhonda for her family. If this is what she wants to do, absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. The one thing that I will say is if this is Ronda Rousey returning to the WWE, cool. If this is Ronda Rousey coming in till WrestleMania and then she screws off after WrestleMania, then you've wasted not one but 2 Rumbles WWE, and you've thrown away about 2 or 3 storylines, but nothing but respect for Ronda.
from what I heard, she might just be signing a contract for about a year. So if she's going to workhorse that full
If
year,
if she's going to work that full year, okay, that's cool. I would want, if that is Ronda's rationale for doing it, I want to see her after WrestleMania.
William Regal, who was recently released from WWE, wrote the following on Twitter in support of former W star Toni Storm and Tegan Nox. Toni Storm is a great lady and talent. Book her. She knows what she's doing and is a pro. As well as booking Toni Storm, you should be booking Stephanie Newell. Tegan Nox. Stephanie's a top-class pro. Lovely lady. If you're a promoter, you'd be mad not to. Storm left WWE after reportedly asking for a release from the company, and Nox was one of the numerous releases in November of 2021.
Cut, print. Remember what I said about William Regal?
Yeah.
You remember what I said about Shawn Michaels and Shawn Michaels needing people? Yeah, Toni Storm and Tegan Nox are fantastic people to build your women's division around, especially your developmental women's division. Sorry. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good.
And Toni Storm was getting a big push, wasn't she? Up until she got the pie to the face, you could tell she was just like, yeah, I'm out of here after they pulled some of that on her.
Yeah. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I'm good.
Mickie James comments on being in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. In a backstage interview after the Women's Royal Rumble, Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Mickie James commented on her appearance. If you would have said to me that this moment would be happening right now, I would have said, you're insane. Here we are. We went out there and made history. I made obvious I wanted to win. I had my sights set high because obviously the winner goes on to Mania. And I wanted that moment just to go out there as WWE family, as Mickie James, a legend, but also as Mickie James, hardcore country. Mickie James, something that WWE viewers never saw. To represent Impact as the Knockouts World Champion, I thought I did a great job. I had a heck of a showing, and I'm sorry, guys, I didn't win. But in my heart, the world won because we just broke down one of the biggest ceilings you've ever seen. We did it for the ladies, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been an incredible night, and I'm just grateful to be here and for an opportunity to make history. So thank you, W. Thank you. Impact, thank you, ladies. This was awesome. This was so awesome. I'm trying not to cry today. I promise I've cried. Beth Phoenix made me cry last night with her Instagram post. I've cried back there in gorilla position. I've cried all day, but I'm tough, so I don't cry. But thanks, I am hardcore country. I promise. Quote courtesy of WrestlingHeadlines.com.
It was a huge game. It was a huge deal to have Mickie James out there. It was great that they acknowledged her as Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts champion. It's great that she brought the belt out with her. All great. I've got nothing, but respect to see Mickie James do that. Did she break down the glass ceiling like she said? Only time will tell. Is the forbidden door open forever? Probably not.
Probably not, but it was pretty cool to see her come out there representing Impact. There was no way she was going to win it. Like they wouldn't have had her stick around that long unless they somehow were going to try to get her back into a contract. But I'm just glad she showed up. I kind of wish they did like what you said, if they somehow got Deonna Purrazzo in there and she eliminated James.
Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo would have been great to do that.
And then we got news from yesterday, new details regarding what WWE has planned for Ronda Rousey now that she's won the Rumble. There's a little more clarified stuff. She's back. She's going to be back as a regular on SmackDown. She'll probably do some shows in Raw. I think she's going to be on Raw on Monday. That's kind of what's been hinted. The only thing I know is that she's not wrestling Charlotte Flair Mania. So when I say SmackDown, that's probably the match everybody expects. I don't know the match. The match I was told was Becky Lynch, but her being back to appease Fox and go on SmackDown makes all the sense in the world. A year is a deal from what I heard, from my understanding. I don't know if she's going to be there every week, but my understanding is it's not just like a match at the Rumble, then a match at Mania, and then it's gone. It's more than that. Quote courtesy of sportskeeda.com.
Well, I mean, we talked about Ronda Rousey's contract about, like you said, it was about a year ago. or it's about a year long. If it is, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I want to see her. I want to see her at WrestleMania, and I think Becky versus Ronda would just be a lot of fun and a heck of a lot more fun than Charlotte versus Ronda. I think though, if you're going to do Becky Ronda, if that's what you've been hearing, I think it's a mistake because I think WrestleMania is the time when you use Becky to build new stars. And I'm saying this as somebody who loves Becky. You've got a lot of people, especially on Raw, on the cusp of making it huge and strengthening your already strong women's division. Like your Liv Morgans out there, like your Bianca Belairs. You've got those guys on Monday Night Raw. Use Becky Lynch for that purpose. Ronda Rousey, especially if she's going to be sticking around, she is the perfect person to take that belt off of Charlotte Flair, both for Fox and from a business standpoint. She's the perfect person.
Exactly. And honestly, I feel like they wasted a few opportunities because they could have had Liv Morgan working Sonya Deville still, because she made her go through hoops to get into the MITV match, and then they move her over the dealing with Naomi.
Again, I've got things to say about the stupid Naomi interview, or the stupid Naomi Sonya Deville rivalry that they've got going on, which is dumb as all hell.
Because they could have had Liv Morgan this whole year. They could have been building her up and everything. They could have had, like, anytime stuff was dropped, they could have had that Deville had something to do with it. There's just so much they could have built around this. So Liv could have a big match at Mania, even if she's not in the title match, but they're just not doing it. They're refusing to build up. So Naomi's great. Naomi doesn't really need the help to get built up because she did great when she had the title. Always has consistently great matches, but it feels like they really don't want to push anyone. Even with Finn Balor, I've been hearing he's not there to get over. He's there to get other people over.
Yeah. It's true. But you can be in that position where your job is to get other people over and still yourself get over. I hate to bring this up, but think of Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 28 with Sheamus. That whole thing was designed to get Sheamus over. Who ended up getting over?
Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. So I don't personally buy into any of the whole idea that, so and so will get over at a certain time. But people will shine regardless, even if it's not meant to happen. That's just me, buddy.
Are you ready for the topic?
I'm ready for the topic.
All right, it's been all over the place. People have been hyped for this. They have been talking about the ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right. That's lovely. That's good. Fraser, did you watch that match just before we go any further?
I've mostly been watching the 9-minute recap, so I've seen all the major stuff that happens, and the questionable stuff as well. Keep in mind, before people are gonna burn me down on Twitter or any other social posts, the match was amazing. It's just there was a lot of no selling. You could complain about Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole, but at least they
to a much lesser extent, you can complain about Cassidy and Cole. And if you like this match, all power to you. If you thought this match was the greatest thing ever, all power to you. That is fantastic when it comes to wrestling. That's what encourages discord about wrestling. That's what makes wrestling great. Before he goes any further, I go any further. Wrestling is fantastic. We are here because we love it. We are here because we want to be in that world. We want our escape from reality. That is perfect for wrestling. So before anybody flames either one of us in the comments, especially him, because I give it to him every week, but you guys will give it to him on a daily. You guys could give it to him on a daily basis, and I love him for it. And it's great. But remember, these are our opinions. Anyway, sorry I had to get that out.
Now, the match had amazing spots. Cody Rhodes hitting the crossroads, that brilliant cutter that Sammy hit. A lot of those should have been match enders. That cutter should have been the end of everything. The selling should have been on point. Like we should have been led to believe that either Sammy's never going to get up again or that Cody's never going to get anywhere near that championship ever again.
Yeah.
The TNT belt has been consistently a great belt. It's been held by Brody Lee, Darby Allin, Sammy, Cody, Miro. And I would say like that the TNT belt is like the modern NWA television championship when that belt would be defended by some of the best consistently good wrestlers. But if you look at all the other ladder matches, like the Hardy Boys versus the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, TLCs, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, any ladder matches, even an Impact, like Christian Cage, Kazarian, there's a lot of issues here. It'd be like watching an Ultimate X match with no cells. Like these guys, they built around the belt. They built up Sammy Guevara. Sammy took down Cody's brother to get back the belt and had to wait for Cody to show up. And they, in a lot of ways, there's some letdowns. I should have seen two men battling their bodies, everything, maiming themselves to have one more moment to hold that belt around their waist. But it was just like, it's like when you play like a game and you both have really OP characters and you're fighting sports and moves.
Like I likened it to a match in WWE 2K19. That's what it was. And if you're into that, all the power to you. And that being said, there were fantastic spots in the match. As you said, the RKO, fantastic. They call it a cutter. I call it an RKO. Fight me. I dare you. There was also another spot in the match. They're fighting in the crowd, and that's great. And the only reason that Sammy is trying particularly hard to fight Cody Rhodes out of the crowd is to get to the ladder. You're not hurt very much. That's great. Sammy flipped over the barricade to Cody Rhodes. He knocked over Cody Rhodes, flipped him over the barricade, hits him with the RKO, hits him with the cutter. I don't care what you call it. And then gets back in the ring. And I remember watching it with my cousin because the whole Bash at the Beach motif that they had going on with AEW really intrigued us. And, Cody got out of that. That's fine. We didn't expect it to happen that early. Then you get to some of the more high spots of the match. There's a suplex in particular. This is after, I'm not sure, because I know it's in the part that you watch. It's either after Sammy's cutter on Cody, which should have ended the match. I completely agree with you. Or it was after the Crossroads. There was a spot where Sammy Guevara got suplexed, and from the way he came down, just basically his right leg looked like it had been murdered. And it was a brilliant spot. It was a brutal spot. But you can't tell me 40 seconds later, here's Guevara moving around. There's no cell on that leg anymore. The leg is fine. The RKO, which should have ended the match, Cody Rhodes started getting up and moving after about 35, 40 seconds. After Sammy Guevara got up, which, good on him. Cody Rhodes not only got up, but he got up and his knees were bent and he was ready for his next spot. And he did that in full view of the camera. I'm not sure if this is a fault of the cameraman or Cody Rhodes, but if you don't sell those moves, there's no moves, there's no sell on the moves, there's no weight. And that was my biggest problem with this match for both Cody Rhodes and Sammy. If you are going to no sell throughout the entirety of that match, which you did, you take somebody like me who really respects ring psychology, really respects the facials, of guys like Jake Roberts and Shawn Michaels really respects the fact that the RKO can come out of nowhere. Respects the fact that Shawn Michaels did a crappy sell job on the punt kick the last time that he took it. He was out of position too, but that's regardless of the point. You need to be able to sell your moves, to give weight to your moves, so that this feels, it has some semblance of reality, so you can suspend your disbelief. I am not a huge fan of spot monkey matches. I am a huge fan of matches where everything that you do has weight to it. For example, I love Edge Foley. I love the Undertaker Foley match, and I love no holds barred matches involving Shawn Michaels in any way, shape, or form. And I love ladder matches where weight is added to any fall that you take. The instant that weight is gone and your moves don't hurt, we realize we're watching choreographed ballet. And without the moves, without the weight, without the stories, I don't care who says it, you cannot have a 5-star match. That's my personal opinion.
There's one point in the match that really bothered me. So Sammy pins Cody at the ladder and he's climbing up, and Cody instantly just lifts and goes.
Yeah.
Like they should have shown, like Cody should have been struggling. Like we should have seen him like trying with everything he has to lift the ladder. We should have, even if he just like crawled under the ladder and started going up and just tilted the ladder himself to make sure like Sammy didn't get it there. But he just full on, no problem. Listen, cutter, hit, back up. What was it? Wasn't there like a sunset flip powerbomb spot as well? And,
yep.
And they just kept getting up, and it's just like, why? Like this is the kind of stuff we hear them complain about the indies when the guys are doing this. But Cody has been in the game so long. Sammy's won belt after belt, even in AAA, where you're held to a pretty high standard, and has been a champion. But here they are just being like spot. But there's no reason. Like they cut good promos leading up to this and everything. This should have been the fight. This should have been the moment where Sammy Guevara fully got made. Just like when Cody put the belt around Darby Allin and he sold all for that match. So why is it different here? Why is Sammy popping up no problem and everything? Why is Cody not? Like, I feel like if Dusty was there, Dusty would have been grabbing him by the jacket, screaming at him to sell like it's his last night.
Yeah. Let's do. I'm going to actually give you a perfect, like, because you brought up the Cody Rhodes ladder spot. I'm glad we both have problems with that. I'm going to tell you where that spot was done a heck of a lot better, and it was done a heck of a lot better on accident. So do you remember the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for the custody of Dominic match, SummerSlam 05?
Yeah, I remember that. That one was fantastic. Everything leading into it. Eddie Guerrero's such a likable guy too. And it made me hate him. Just him going, I'm your puppy. I've never hated Eddie Guerrero so much in my life until I saw that.
But, okay, so similar to Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, Eddie's got Ray pinned under the ladder. Ray is selling. Eddie, because he had gone through hell in a handbasket, is taking forever to climb up that ladder. Your crowd is swelling. The drama is swelling. And Eddie Guerrero is taking forever. He finally gets to the belt. And then they realize Vicky Guerrero missed their cue. Rey Mysterio struggles at that point to improvise a very similar ladder bump to what happened with Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. And slowly gets Eddie Guerrero to take this sick looking ladder bump. And it, like, the crowd's going nuts. Eddie Guerrero is fucking pissed. It's probably the one time that I've seen Eddie Guerrero like completely break kayfabe. And you know, looking back on it, I'm sure people gave him flack as they should have, but looking back on it, It's a heck of a lot better than Rhodes Guevara. But he's like, no. Where the F was Vicky? God damn it. But that spot that was born out of necessity was done a heck of a lot better than Rhodes Guevara, where I'm almost certain, just based off of everything that went on, and they're going spot, that spot is planned. It's all about psychology, and it's missing from a lot of wrestling today.
Or when they're hanging above the ring and Sammy's grabbing Sammy grabbed on the Cody, I believe, and he's trying to get him down. Like they could have pulled that into like him bringing him back down the mat. Bam, Guevara's all messed up. Or when he fell off like that, they could have had one of them unhook the belt and drop. Like there's a lot they could have done ended at certain points, but they just kept going and going, and it's like, how long can you suspend your disbelief? Because any one of those ends could have been the end of it. Like Sammy should have hit the mat, boom, they down. Or when Cody hit the mat, bam, he should have rolled out of the ring and like.
Well, I don't know exactly which spot it was, but and I'm not sure if it's on the 9-minute thing. There's a spot where this is after the leg thing where Sammy Guevara no sells his leg, and it legitimately looks like his leg is dead. He gets hit in the face with a ladder, or gets hit in the face with something, and he drops, and he's like covering his face. Meanwhile, it's like Lucian throwing a temper tantrum on his feet, and he's kicking his legs, and I'm just like, dude, what if your legs had a figure 4 with a ladder? That thing should not be usable in that way. You're kicking it effortlessly. Good God. That's just 101. Don't get me wrong, the spots themselves were great, but if you have no story, if you have no weight behind your moves, it's nowhere even close to a 5-star match. It's not even good. Sorry.
It should have been like, and here's the thing, Cody at that time after the So Derby was like the guy. If you wanted to get a new star over, Cody was your dude. But after seeing this, it's just like what are you doing, Cody? Like you've always had great matches. You've always sold like there's no tomorrow. We've seen him like get countless championships everywhere in high caliber matches. But like what happened here? Like there's no excuse for it. Like this should have been like the defining moment for either man. And now it's going to be talked about, but it's not like what it could have been. It could have been probably match of the year. It could have been something more special. They could take this and lead into other stuff. But now it's just like, how is this going to build anything between both men? They talk about the interconnecting stories of years of this being booked and leading to them going at it. And they kind of drop the ball. And it's this one. And you know what? People can complain about Darby Allin all they want, but at least when Darby launches himself out of the ring and everything, he sells it. He sells his body being mangled and everything that he does, from the coffin drop to his outside dives, to his top rope dives, to everything he hits. He basically treats it like that he's like a train wreck. And even wrestlers will kayfabe sell it about him being reckless and all this. But like, you could have pulled out Cody and put Darby in, and it would have been so much better.
Well, and that's the thing too. Unfortunately, there could have been a lot that would have been better than what we saw in that match. Again, fantastic high spots, but dude, I think we're talking around in circles because, quite frankly, at least from my perspective, if you like that match, fantastic. It's got a lot of stuff to like about it. Your spots are brutal. Your spots are fantastic. But if you don't sell anything, there's no moves, there's no way. And it just causes people like us, who are AEW's target, to get annoyed. Both men could have done so much better. And I think long term, like short term, you're going to remember the spots. You're always going to remember the RKO off the ladder, the crossroads off the ladder. Long term, I don't know about you, bud, but I'm not going to be looking back on this match fondly. I'm going to be looking at this match as something that set both guys back.
I feel the same. Like there are several matches where I'll talk about moments and stories around it, but I feel like this is just going to be any one of those ladder matches that gets shoved on like a weekly show.
Yeah.
So I don't think it added anything new. It's not up there, I believe, with Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Their only error at the end of that match was just Penta popping up after taking the crossbody off the top of the cage. It's the only error of that one. It's not going to be up there with any of the other matches, and it's disappointing because busting out a ladder match is like when anything should go, and you should always bring your best, and this just wasn't it.
Yeah. It's sad, but true. Once again, congratulations to Dean for taking the lead in the WWE predictions. We would like to say, though, remember, guys, Dean did cross out a lot of his picks to put in the new ones. So if you guys would like to make Dean keep his original picks, make sure to tag that on Bodyslams and Dropkicks Twitter, on our Facebook. Make sure that we badger him, because we got to make sure that we know going forward for the future with this pivotal pay-per-view whether or not Dean's prediction should actually count.
Oh, what did you two do while I was on my way back?
Hey! Look who it is! It's the leader of the Royal Rumble predictions. He's finally here.
You're supposed to say, my leader. Is what you're supposed to say. Yes, I have literally.
Hello, Dina.
Hello, Hunter. How are we, sir?
Oh my God! I've got everything ready for your coronation. Okay, I'm looking at getting you a little crown. We're going to have God Save the Queen.
Oh, bless you. Does that mean I'm more royalty than Xavier Woods is?
Well, of course, Xavier Woods didn't even show up in the Royal Rumble. I mean, it's always a pleasure to see you, Dina.
Yeah.
But you had somebody read out your predictions and all of those little extra predictions that you had that you crossed out.
Oh God, what did I say?
Well, I mean, I want to remind everybody of this. Instead of the women's Royal Rumble predictions, what you actually put is, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so pretty. Can't you understand? You take me by the heart. Well, I take your husband. Oh, Mickey, you're so pretty."
I really hope Nick Aldis doesn't hear this, because I'm dead.
Oh my God! But no.
What else?
Well, there were a lot of questionable picks for the men's Royal Rumble. You put in Mae Young's hand.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It was, listen back to the podcast. You'll hear all the picks. But they do have to casually ask, make Dean's first predictions actually count.
You do actually realize I'm the one who keeps score of everything as far as it comes to predictions. So I actually know what I did. I know,
but you are also.
I said Nathan the results on my way back up from London.
You're also a man of the people, Dean. So if the people say to keep your original predictions, which were said on the podcast, who are we to judge?
Hunter, are you feeling sorry for Fraser again because he's losing again?
Don't worry, Fraser. I've got a plan for you.
Oh, by the way, Vince, thanks for bringing Ronda Rousey back, considering I was the only one who actually picked that she was coming back to win.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Wait a minute. I didn't do that. Oh, by the way, just so everybody is aware, we are in the process of maybe putting together a little series, huh?
Which
special series, a revolutionary series, a management series. In one corner, Vince McMahon and his wonderful representative, Michael Fraser. In the other corner, Triple H and his wonderful representative, Mr. Dean Connolly.
My liege.
Who will win? Who
Well,
will
let's face
lose?
it, Hunter's going to win.
We will find out in Final Cut Gaming presents My GM. More
I
info
call
to come
dibs on
soon.
Sonya Deville. That is my agreement of being dragged in this insanity. That's my GM I got.
Actually, yeah, you can take Sonya Deville.
There we go.
Perfect. Alrighty. So if you're looking forward to that, more details will be released the closer we get to WWE 2K22's release. What I will tell you all right now is you can tune in on March 13th for the WWE 2K22 My GM Fraser versus Dean, Vince versus Hunter draft. You're going to see the draft right here live on B&D.
Hold on a minute, Nathan. Are you also going, since you have 3-day early access, are you going to do a video halfway through the second day and give your honest opinion of it, considering we are a podcast for the people, so it's only fair that we give the people an opinion.
So you're asking me to give an opinion on the game.
Yep. Bearing in mind,
before March 11th, in the hopes that we get it out to the people in time.
Oh, we will. Because the fact of the matter is, as you two have probably no doubt said about 2K22 while I was on my way back up from London town, it is in its last, to be fair, this could be its last hurrah. If they screw this up, it could be lights out, and then total gaming domination will belong to AEW. So you could say it's absolutely necessary.
Well, I guess if it's absolutely necessary, then I, a man of the people, will gladly oblige.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, for more information on my GM, tune in to Final Cut Presents Bodyslams and Dropkicks in the upcoming weeks.
Yep. Do include the quote, hashtag, there will be a divorce between Vince McMahon and Michael Fraser.
What? No, there won't. No, there won't. He's going to be brilliant, that Fraser. Yeah. He's going to be the greatest of them all.
Fraser,
He's going to crush Hunter. He's going to crush Dean.
Fire him after about a minute.
Winner faces Nathan.
I'm for that.
I'm fine for that, too.
With points on the line for the pay-per-views.
Oh my God!
No.
Oh!
If I'm getting dragged, I get that request. If I
No.
Nathan,
I've got a better idea.
Let me finish. I get dragged in this insanity. You guys have bugged me for days about this. That is the thing, because somehow if I go down in this, you have to take on Nathan. Nathan, of course, gets Shawn Michaels because then he can't say anything about not having Shawn. It's worth points. It is worth points.
I was actually just Fraser that not only is that request irrelevant because the pay-per-view.
Oh my God, Dean, we gotta grant that one, Dean.
However, just to please Michael Fraser, considering he doesn't really want to do the trials that we put in, Nathan. If he wins me, he shouldn't have to do them. However, if I do win, he actually has to do them. Oh. No ifs, no buts, no rejections. He has to do them.
I get a full list, though. You send me an entire list.
Hey. I've got an idea. I personally don't care. So if Fraser wants to be free of the trials of Kenny Omega, if he wins against Dean, my GM mode, then I'm willing to grant that.
But I'm probably gonna lose. I also
think, and just hear me out on this. What if Fraser beats you, and Fraser beats me? Then not only is he free, but he also gets all the points that you got in Royal Rumble, which puts me at a sincere disadvantage.
Hold on a minute. Is that more of a disadvantage for you or for Fraser?
Well, see, if he beats you, he doesn't have to do the 7 trials of Kenny Omega.
That's fair enough. But
if he beats me, he not only doesn't have to do the 7 trials of Kenny Omega, but he gets all the points that you've received in the Royal Rumble.
And yours as well.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he'll cocky top in the next 10 months anyway.
Yeah.
Lose either way, so I don't think it really matters. Plus, I have sucked at every GM mode in every game, so I'm going to lose either way.
Yeah, but Fraser, I've never played my GM mode, so as far as experience goes, you have the edge over me in that regard.
You've played a past GM mode, and quite frankly, all of us are going into this relatively green. What I will tell each and every one of you is that we have a plan for playing my GM mode. It's going to be fun. I'm going to trickle out information. I'm going to be like a 2K reveal that trickles out information about my GM mode and how we're going to run things. But we are so excited to do it for each and every one of you.
Well, us two are. We're not sure if Fraser is.
I'm never thrilled.
It's going to be so much fun.
No, not even close.
So yes, everyone. Sorry, I was a bit late. I've just been coming up from having a weekend away in London, so I've literally come back here. I've had 20 minutes, and then I've literally come straight on here. So if that's not being what hardcore is for a podcaster, I don't know what is.
Alrighty. Well, we will see you all again on Body Slams and Dropkicks. Remember, folks, my GM is coming, and it's going to come in a big way.
And Michael Fraser sucks.
Dean Conley loves Kate Bosworth.